Hey Motorvated fans, I'm going to show you today how to do a hinge repair on a foam hinge. So these hinges in general, it doesn't matter what brand you buy, but they are prone because they go back and forth over and over and over, and they're super thin so that they can be flexible. They are prone to breaking. So I'll break this one on purpose. This is a perfectly good hinge, but I end up upgrading most of mine with blade hinges anyway, just for safety, so it doesn't happen during flight. So if they get pressed a little too hard, you can see they separate. So during installation of servo linkages or just moving them around and bumping them into things, people break these off all the time, or at least break them so that they separate a little bit. And I'm going to show you how to fix it. So first thing we need to do is clean this up. So let's pull this off completely. And this one wasn't too bad as far as leaving a bunch of marks, but sometimes there's some gunk here. So let's go ahead and take a razor blade and just clean off the existing hinge part that was there, so we have a nice flat surface to work with. Okay, that looks pretty good. Do the same thing on the rudder. Just looking for a clean, flat surface. Alright. So, on a rudder like this, 2 hinges is probably more than enough. The wheel itself already has somewhere to hold, so this isn't relying on the strength of the rudder to actually hold the wheel on. This is just for directional. So, we're going to do 2 hinges in this, one towards the top here. So I'm going to take a razor blade. I'm just going to cut directly into the center of it. I'm going to go in the depth of the hinge. Alright, let me show you what a blade hinge looks like so you understand a little better. So this here is a blade hinge. It's a nylon hinge. It's got a metal rod down the center of it and allows it to bend and fold, and it's super thin. So when we make this cut, we can now slide this hinge right into the rudder, and we have a much stronger hinge than the original foam. So we can make a slot in the other side. So you just line them up, mark where the slot would go. You want it to be as centered as possible. Press it in. It's okay if the cut is slightly bigger than the hinge. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but pay attention to where you're doing it. I don't want to do it right here because this is where the elevator is going to go, and so there's other stuff that goes through here, and I don't want a hinge sticking out that I might have to trim off. So I'm going to go slightly above it. Find the center. Push that razor blade into it, cut up a little bit, and then find the exact opposite on the other side. Okay, so it looks like this one's about here. Get another hinge. We want to test fit everything before we glue it, because I'm going to use super glue and it's not very forgiving. Once it dries and hardens, that's it. So when you put the rudder and the tail wheel together here, this has got a screw right here on this side, and you want to put it in right above that screw, and that holds the tail wheel up as high as it can go. Okay, then we're just going to rock the hinge. Notice how the tail wheel pin is still in the hole inside the rudder. And we're going to slide that hinge and this hinge directly into the vertical stabilizer, wiggle them back and forth a little bit. And this one's not wanting to go in here very well, so I think I have to cut upward just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, let's give that another shot with the test fit. So, tail wheel, bottom hinge, top hinge, together so that only the center of the hinge is showing there, and then align it vertically to your liking. And now we have the rudder again. Now we just got to glue them into place. So I'm going to take these out, the blade hinges. I'm going to grab our medium thickness super glue, and I actually take the tip and I press it right into about the center of where that hinge is going to go. So I press it into it about 1/4 of an inch, squeeze a little bit of glue in there, and then I press the hinge into place so that only the center of that hinge is showing. Same thing on the other side. Only a tiny bit of that hinge is showing there. And then double check that it is still functional and you didn't get glue all over the hinge itself. And grab your glue, do the same thing on the other side of the rudder. Drop in there, drop in there. And then we're going to press these together. Now this is your permanent move, so make sure you get it lined up properly and where you need it. And then press them together. Hold them there for a few seconds. Once you press those together and it dries, double check to make sure nothing's locked up and you've got a perfect repair.